For how many minutes T has the water been draining when tank B contains the following amounts of water? A, 75 liters. Okay, so let's use our expression from the previous problem, 80 minus 2.5 T, where it's starting out with 80 liters, draining at 2.5 liters per minute, and then we want to have 75 liters left in the tank. Okay? So we have a couple of strategies. We can just reason through it, or we can try to solve it, right? So if we reason through it, if it's 2.5 liters in the first minute, that would be 5 liters in the second minute, and 80 minus 5 is 75. Or we can just do like inverse operations. Let's subtract off the 80, and then we'll get negative 2.5 T equals negative 5. And then let's divide both sides by negative 2.5. And then we'll get T equals, we'll go over here just to be sure, negative 5 on the top and negative 2.5 on the bottom, and we get 2. Okay, so now let's try part B. We're going to do the same thing. Let's do 80 minus 2.5 T, but this time instead of having 75 liters, we want 32.5. So let's do the subtract 80 from both sides. And then we'll get negative 2.5 T equals, and then let's do 32.5 minus 80 to get negative 47.5. Divide both sides by negative 2.5. And these will cancel off, and we'll get T equals, I'll do this in a different color. T equals, and then over here we're going to get the negative 47.5 on the top. Oop, let's do fraction first. Okay. Negative 47.5 on the top, negative 2.5 on the bottom, and we should get 19. That's our second answer, so that's 19. Oh, and our first one was 2. Okay, let's do it again for 18. We're going to do 18 liters. Oh, sorry, we start out with 80. We're draining at 2.5 liters per minute, and we want to end up with 18 liters. So we're going to subtract the 80 from both sides. And then we're going to have the 2.5, negative 2.5, equals, I'm going to do 18 minus 80 to get negative 62. And then let's divide both sides by negative 2.5. And then we're going to get T equals fraction negative 62 on the top and negative 2.5 on the bottom to get 24.8. That's 24.8. And now let's do it for V liters. So now we've transitioned from numbers to letters. So let's do the same thing. Let's do 80 minus 2.5 T, but instead of getting a number, now we're going to get V. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start by subtracting the 80 from both sides. And that's going to leave us with negative 2.5 T on the left and V minus 80 on the right. And then we're going to divide by negative 2.5 right there. And then T is going to be equal to, actually I'll do this in green like I did last time. T is equal to V minus 80 over negative 2.5. Alternatively, we can kind of switch all of these around if we multiply everything by -1. So if we multiplied everything by -1, that would get us negative v minus -80 over negative 2.5. So when that simplifies, that's going to be the same thing as negative v plus 80 over 2.5, and you're going to see where I'm going with this. And we can put the negative v after the 80 to get 80 minus v over 2.5. Now, why would we go through all of that trouble? And it's just because instead of having two subtraction signs, we could have just one subtraction sign. So even though this is nice because the variable's in the front, this one is also nice because it only has one subtraction sign instead of two. So there's some pros and cons to either version. But this would be a good answer.